Hey everybody, this is D Hunter, bringing another action figure review. Today, we're going to be looking at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Batwoman from the Batman Beyond comic series. This Batwoman is a Target exclusive. She's the third of four figures in the collective Build-A-Figure Batman Joker robot from Future's End. It's a new way of releasing a collective figure line. They're releasing these figures pretty much one every 2 months. The last one is going to be Blight. Looking forward to finally getting this thing completed. I ordered my figure from the Target website, pre-ordered a while ago, and finally got it today. I believe Batwoman is the daughter of Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon in a potential future in the Batman Beyond comic universe. So let's take a look at the packaging. As you can see at the top, 22 moving parts, McFarlane Toys, got the Spawn logo there, ages 12 plus, DC Multiverse Batwoman, Collect to Build Batman from Future's End. This is figure 3 of 4. Here she is in the package. She has 2 alternate hands, totaling 4 interchangeable hands. She's got 2 Batman Beyond style batarangs, the legs of the Batman Joker robot, and also a display stand and collector's card. One side of the package, Batwoman from Batman Beyond. Other side simply says Batwoman. At the bottom, got a bunch of credits, and there is a barcode in case it helps anybody. And on the back side, here's Batwoman and Batman facing off with a Joker robot and a Shriek. Here's a list of all the different Build-A-Figure parts. Here are instructions how to build him. Here are a bunch of other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures you should check out. Notice they're not actually showing you Blight, even though we've seen him quite a while ago. So with no further ado, let's open her up. And I did end up getting 2 of these figures, one of which to open and enjoy, and one to keep unopened in my complete 6 and 7 inch unopened Batman action figure collection. And here she is, next to the rest of the Build-A-Figure Joker robot wave. Can't wait to get Blight to finish it off. Alright, now that I got this figure out of the package, here she is with all of her accessories laid out. She comes with a display stand, a collector's card, 2 alternate hands, totaling 4 interchangeable hands, 2 Batman Beyond style batarangs, and then the legs from the Joker Batman robot from Future's End. But before we take a look at the accessories, let's talk about and check out the actual figure. So this is Batwoman from the Batman Beyond comic series. Her real name is Elena Grayson. Her father is Dick Grayson, and earlier I stated her mother was Barbara Gordon, but I was mistaken. I don't believe they ever actually named her mother, but like almost all Bat characters, her mother was killed, and she became a vigilante. She actually got her suit, stole it from Terry McGinnis. So let's go ahead and check out the figure. Looking at her face here, getting sort of a Spider-Gwen feel to it. The big ol' eyes, long ears, it looks very sharp. She's got that red flowing hair, definitely reminds me of Batgirl and Barbara Gordon. You can see the wings. I'm not sure if they're identical to the Batman Beyond figure. We'll definitely check that out later. They are permanently attached, but some hot water, you should be able to pull them out pretty easily. The iconic Batman Beyond symbol on her chest, the belt, it does look like it's his suit. She has a similar build to him, of course, except for the chest area. You can see double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. Overall, she's looking pretty good. Kind of an odd character choice, but it looks fantastic. And just a closer look at her head and face, I'm totally getting a Spider-Woman type vibe with those big ol' eyes. And then here's the figure broken down as far as she can go, with all of her removable parts detached. Now one thing I wanted to mention earlier, she's the 3rd figure in the set of 4, and both the 1st and 2nd figure, Batman and Shriek, had a standard non-Build-A-Figure release that was a little bit different. Batman Beyond had a different head and face, and Shriek was unmasked. We have not seen yet if there's going to be a standard release of Batwoman. One assumes there will be. I've heard rumors in the past, maybe an unmasked version, maybe one with a blue symbol. If anyone has any news, drop me a line in the comments. I'm very curious. Now let's look at her accessories, and let's start off with the boring stuff. So here's her display stand, typical McFarlane stand, black perfect circle, says DC at the bottom, 1 peg for the peg holes in her feet, very thin, very basic. Here's her collector's card. It's an image of Batman and Batwoman fighting the Joker robot and Shriek. A little bit of a closer look. You can see Batwoman from Batman Beyond on the back. There is a little description. If you want to read that, go ahead and pause now. Here's the Batman Joker robot's legs. You can see they got some armor on the outside. They're pretty much all gray, double jointed knee. Some different texturing and sort of material, some wires, robotic parts on the inside here. So here's the Batman Joker robot so far without the legs. And here he is with the legs attached. It's pretty much a complete figure at this point. I believe all he's missing are the wings. Then here he is next to Batwoman. You can see just how tall that robot is. Now let's look at her hands. She has two regular hands, and then two claw-like hands. Here she is with her first pair of hands. These are her regular hands. They're a pair of gripping hands. And here she is with her second pair of hands. These are her claw-like hands. These would be good for climbing. Now let's look at her Batman Beyond style batarangs. She comes with two of them. They're black in the middle, red on the edges. They look pretty nice. This is going to be the exact same batarang they came with the Batman Beyond figure. Here are a bunch of different Batman Beyond style batarangs that I've gotten over the years. Here's Batwoman holding both of her batarangs. Now I'd like to look at her wings. The wings are kind of flimsy. Mine are a little bit warped from the packaging. Easy enough to fix with some hot water. She has these little holes in the back, and she's got this little sort of peg that comes off her wrists, and that'll hold onto the wings while they're outstretched. They do have rotation. They can expand. It's a pretty cool feature. Now, one annoying feature, they're permanently attached. They do not come off. Now, if you dip her in some boiling water, they come out pretty easily. I'll go ahead and show you. Here she is with the wings on, and here she is with the wings removed. I just filled up a cup with boiling water, put it in there for about a minute. They came right out. One annoying thing, there's this big ugly hole on her back here. I do prefer her with the wings off, as she'd only have the wings deployed when flying. In addition to that, when I dipped the wings into the water, it completely straightened them out. It required no effort from me, but the wings are now fully straight. And here are her wings, next to a bunch of different Batman Beyond wings from over the years. But let's get her wings back on for a sec. Like I said before, she has the ability to stretch the wings out and sort of lock her gauntlet into it. Here she is with the wings down. Then, with her wings spread out and her gauntlets locked into them. And her wings seem to be identical to the Terry McGinnis version of the Batman Beyond. Here are some flame accessories. These did not come with Batwoman Beyond. These came with the standard version of Batman Beyond, not the Target exclusive Build-A-Figure version, but the one that's available anywhere. These are supposed to attach to the bottom of her feet, some flame or exhausts. It's when he's flying, kind of like little rockets. They're cool. They attach to the peg on her feet. I wanted to know if they were going to work with this Batwoman Beyond. Here's Batwoman on a McFarlane flight stand. She has the flame exhaust coming out of her feet, and she has her gauntlets tied into the wings outstretched. It's a pretty cool feature for this figure. And because I got both the standard version of Batman Beyond and the digitized chase version of Batman Beyond, I have two sets of these flames. One for Batwoman and one for Batman at the same time. Now that we've taken a pretty good look at both the figure and her accessories, now let's check out her height. From bottom to the top of her head, she's standing at about 6.9 inches tall, which is going to translate to about 17.5 centimeters. And if you go to the top of the ears, about 7.25 inches tall. Now let's look at her articulation. Start with her head here. Of course, it can rotate from side to side. She can look down about that far, up about that much. Shoulders goes at a little bit more than 90 degrees on a ball joint. Up, down, around, all that good stuff. You can see how the shoulder pad is able to go over the shoulder. She has that butterfly joint between her shoulder and chest area. Just increase the range of motion there. Bicep cut below that. Double jointed elbows below that. Her wrist has a ball in it. It can rotate, and it's going to be hinged as well. Double ball joint her torso. Rotate around, forward and back. Another one in her waist. Rotate around, go forward and back, giving her a very impressive range of motion in her torso area. Legs go about this far, completely does the splits. Not a ball joint, but a similar type concept. Rotation, pretty nice. They can go forward, about that far back, pretty much not at all. Double jointed knees below that. Then her ankle here, go forward and back, can rotate, can tilt and rock, and she's got toe articulation. Here's Batwoman taking on the Joker robot and Shriek. Batman is shocked to find her in action. Now let's check her out next to some other action figures, starting off with some other McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. Here she is, next to a standard version of Batman Beyond with no wings. This is the regular version that's available everywhere, not the Target exclusive Build-A-Joker Robot version. And here she is, next to the Build-A-Figure version. Then, here's the entire wave of Target exclusive Build-A-Figure Joker Robot figures. We've got Batman, Shriek, Joker Robot, and Batwoman. The Joker Robot is not complete, he's simply missing his wings, and that'll come with Blight. I'm very excited to get Blight. He's a brand new Batman character, never been released in 6 and 7-inch action figure form before. Here's the entire assortment of Batman Beyond figures McFarlane has made so far. We've got the standard release of Batman Beyond Terry McGinnis, the Build-A-Figure Terry McGinnis Batman Beyond, then we have the digitized version of Terry McGinnis. We've got Shriek, both masked and unmasked. We've got the Build-A-Figure Joker Robot and Batwoman. Looking forward to Blight, and very curious if we're going to get a non-Build-A-Figure Batwoman and Blight as well, and what will they be like? What are going to be the differences? Here's Batwoman next to Batgirl. Now this is not the version of Batwoman I would have picked. I would love for McFarlane to release a Batwoman, Kate Kane for the Rebirth comics. Here she is, next to all the different female figures McFarlane has made so far. I believe the next one we're going to get is going to be the Three Jokers Batgirl. Word is, we have an Endless Winter Wonder Woman, and then a Catwoman from the film The Batman. And then, next to a bunch of other recently released McFarlane DC Multiverse figures. And here's Batwoman, next to a bunch of different Batman Beyond figures. Now let's check her out, next to some other Batwoman figures. This is a DC Direct Kate Kane as Batwoman from the old school Silver Age comics. And in the modern comics, they brought Kate Kane back as Batwoman. She's a big player in the Bat family. And then, next to a DC Direct, Superman, Batman, Batwoman. Now let's check her out, next to some action figures from different various companies, to see how she fits in both scale and style-wise, in case you want to know which lines you can mix her with. Since she's a McFarlane figure, they're typically 7-inch scale. I'm going to start off my comparisons with some of the larger action figure lines I collect, and work my way smaller. Here she is, with some of her McFarlane Toys brothers and sisters. In front of you are 5 different action figures, all from McFarlane Toys, all 7-inch scale. Then, next to some more McFarlane Toys, these are from different various video game properties. And now, next to some Jack-specific wrestling figures. And here she is, next to some DST or Diamond Select toys. Then, next to some DC Direct and DC Collectibles figures. And here, next to some NECA figures. Then, next to some Mattel wrestling figures. And now, next to some Jazzwares AEW wrestling figures. And here she is, next to some Mezco 1/12 collective cloth soft goods action figures. Then, next to some Mattel DC Universe Classics and Multiverse figures. And here, next to some Mafex figures. Then, next to some Hasbro Marvel Legends. And here she is, next to some SH Figure Arts action figures. And finally, next to some Jazzwares Fortnite figures. So overall, this is a pretty nice figure. Her articulation's good. Her paint job and sculpt are excellent. Even her accessories are nice. The only thing that kind of throws me off is the character selection. She's a pretty obscure character. I get they're going with the Batman Beyond wave, and it's from the comics. For that point of view, it makes perfect sense. But McFarlane, quit teasing me. Give me my Rebirth Batwoman. If I were to rate this figure, I'd give her a 7.5 out of 10. It is a nice figure, well executed. I do wish the wings were movable without hot water. But at least, even with hot water, you can do both display options. So this is D Hunter. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you liked the video, press like below. If you have anything you want to say about the video, add to the comment section. If you want to see additional action figure reviews from me, press subscribe. I do appreciate when you do that. Once again, this is D Hunter, Thank you guys for watching this video, and I will talk to you guys real soon.